having a special webinar with FlowZone. We've got Connor and Haney here, and they're going to be demoing the Vortex mist blower. So basically, we've had a lot of interest in this so far, but this is such a new product, and I know there's a lot of questions. So I felt like the best thing to do would be do a webinar. We could record it and then get all the information out to everyone all at the same time. And, you know, demos with equipment is usually the best way to do it. So Connor and Haney, could you guys go ahead and just tell us a little bit about your background with FlowZone and the journey of the last few years to now?
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Henny and I have been with FlowZone basically since the company started. So pushing 10 years now in 2014. I'm the marketing director, so I work on everything from the packaging to the website to working with our distributors like Viserys, and then Henny is our national account manager.
Yep. So I've been with FlowZone since as well 2017. National account manager, just nice title for I'm in over sales. I oversee distribution for landscape and pest control.
Yep. So FlowZone, like I mentioned, started in 2014. What we've got here is we're going to run through a quick presentation of what this new mist blower product, some of the specs and some of the benefits of using a battery-powered mister over a gas-powered misters that everybody's used to, and then we'll open it up for questions afterwards. So anything that comes to mind, just kind of take some notes, and we'll be happy to open it up at the end. So we'll go through like a quick 15-minute introduction here.
Yeah. You want to just go through the slide?
Yep. Share my screen.
Chris, a lot of these guys that are on here, guys and gals on here, are they all FlowZoners or have had FlowZone or used it at one point as far as our typhoons, cyclones, et cetera?
Yeah, I would venture to say that basically everyone would have bought a Typhoon at least in the past. All the people that I talked to last week at the wildlife show, like you had mentioned this before, they recognized the FlowZone name and they didn't even know. They just were like, oh, what's this? And they basically saw the FlowZone name, so they were interested in this product.
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of interest in that from the wildlife show and people that were doing wildlife mostly, but just starting to get into pest control.
Awesome. Well, thanks to everybody for for being on, and thank you for Viserys and Chris for supporting us on sharing this with you guys. And then for those that have used our product through Viserys, thank you for the support over the years. I know if you've been using FlowZone since the beginning of 2016, 17, as you know, we had a lot of growing pains. We were young, and we've come a long way, as you guys have seen over the years. Every year we're releasing new. We're trying to release as many new products as possible in the industry. So we're very excited about showing this to you guys. How do I go next, Connor?
Yep. Chris, can you see our screen all right?
Yeah, I got you.
So do I just click down?
Yeah.
Okay. So Wessel's our legal name. I don't know if you guys know this. These are all the different brands that we have. We have a residential line, spray mate line. Extreme Clean is for just Jansan. Here we go. And then residential spray mates. FlowZone Concrete is for our concrete industry. And then FlowZone is for the pest and landscape industry as well. Why can't I just go down on this?
You just got to click it on the right side of the screen.
Oh, okay. Be smarter than the screen. This is our lineup, everybody. You guys are all familiar with our two 4-gallon backpacks, the Typhoon and the Cyclone. One is better for ag pests. Cyclones is better for like turf and ornamental applications, or if you're like a structural, just doing kind of GHP, crack and crevice type of treatments. You don't need the power of a Typhoon. The Cyclones, I just want to put this out here real quick. There is a myth that the Typhoons are better. That's not true. The Typhoons or Cyclones are just as good. It's just it's just for different applicators that don't require the heavy output of a Typhoon. They're not trying to, not use their power rig to beat, they're not trying to put down a lot of liquid. The Cyclones are good for herbicides, insecticides, while the Typhoons are better for fungicides, that require more power. So there's this myth in the industry that the Cyclones are the Typhoons, are the best. And I want to say that is not true. All these units are equally just as good as one another. The Storms are the Cyclone's little brother. It's a 2.5-gallon version. The Monsoon is the Typhoon, basically on on a with a 20-foot hose on wheels, basically, and that's what the Monsoon is. We are going to be. Should I talk about these now or afterwards?
Now, good.
So, guys, I'm not going to go into the weeds of these, but we have some really cool new releases coming up. Because Chris is going to be, we're going to announce this to you guys in March on a March call, but I'm letting all your customers know we are going to have two new storm units added to the fleet, a 1 gallon storm that is to basically it's not just for indoor pest control. I want to make sure I say this clearly. It's not just for indoor, but we're marketing heavily towards indoor residential and indoor commercial spraying. It has the same 4-in-1 tip as a B&G. Basically, it's exactly like a B&G 4-in-1 tip. It's a dripless wand, 100% dripless unit. Will not drip whatsoever. I want to make sure I repeat that. And the technology in these pumps are a little bit different. It's the same pump as the Cyclone, but but the micro switch is in the handle, allowing for these units, the Storm 1 gallon and 2 gallon, to be restricted. Like you would with a 4-in-1 B&G tip. You would not be able to put that tip on a Typhoon or a Cyclone or the other 4 units above them, because those units have a micro switch in the pump that if you restrict it, it will cause cavitation or straining. These units don't have that, allowing them to be restricted for indoor usage and for GPM flow rate that is equivalent to a B&G 1 gallon steel can. And that would be for the 1 gallon storm. Those are going to be coming at the end of March, early April. And I tell you guys, it's probably half the price cheaper than a B&G steel can that is a manual pump. It's the same flow rate and same output as a B&G, all right? And it's a swap tank. We're going to show you what swap tank is with our Vortex, but think the same thing. You can literally remove the tank, buy extra 1 gallons, or maybe add buy 2 gallons. So you're not cross-contaminating chemicals. You can pre-mix chemicals and quickly just take the tank that's pre-mixed and apply it to your sprayer right away. Not have it to agitate with the sprayer. You can agitate it outside of the sprayer. So there's a lot of benefits to a swap tank unit. The 2 gallons are also same time release around end of March, early April. And those are, it's a 2 gallon with a Typhoon pump that's in there and a Typhoon battery. So it is a backpack. You're meant to wear it. And basically, again, the micro switch is not in the pump, allowing it to be heavily restricted. It does come with the normal Series 3 nozzles, but as you guys may have done, those listening to this call, or maybe if you're on Pest Cemetery, guys love to buy aftermarket nozzles and jerry rig our units. You can use whatever nozzle your heart desires on these Storm 2 gallons that we don't carry, and it will not hurt the pump. So if you want to, buy a T-Jet nozzle that's 8000 or 8000, whatever, that puts down 0.05 gallons per minute. You can use that on this unit, and it will not restrict the pump. Basically, the way I like to look at this Storm 2 gallon is that it is a 2 gallon Typhoon that has the same exact power as a Typhoon, but can be restricted down to super low output. So you could do the small crack and crevice treatments, or if you're a TNO guy on here doing like weed control or spot treating, you can go down to that very, very small output and have a 2 gallon backpack and buy an extra 2 gallon, as a spare tank, and essentially have a 4 gallon unit without wearing a 4 gallon unit. So it encompasses kind of both, all the good stuff about the Typhoon, and with a very low output capability. So let's talk about the pièce de résistance here. This is the Vortex, and I'm going to have Connor's going to talk to you guys about the benefits of this one.
Yeah, so FlowZone, having grown up in the pest control industry, we got a lot of feedback from customers that, hey, you guys should release a battery-powered mister. So that's what we've developed here. This competes directly with like the Steel SR200s or the bigger 4 gallon units. It is a similar design to those units, where it's got basically a backpack with a tank on it, same kind of blower arm. The blow force on this thing is very equivalent to a Steel, so it can blow up to 30 feet. We've got 2 spray modes on this mist blower. So we've got either eco mode or boost mode. We say 90% of the time you're only going to need to use eco mode. That means that the fan and the blower is going to blow the mist up to 15 feet. So if you're doing any sort of perimeter type of mosquito application, 15 feet is going to be enough to penetrate like deep into the foliage on the bushes or trees or whatever you're spraying. And then if you need to get up high, there is a boost mode that can get up to 30 feet. Being battery powered on eco mode, you're going to be able to get 60-minute runtime out of one battery charge. And then on boost mode, if you run it on boost mode the whole time, it's going to be 30 minutes. So anywhere between 30 and 60 per battery charge, depending on what kind of spray mode that you're doing. But basically, like we said, that you're going to get that close to 60-minute runtime. We do sell these in different bundles where it comes with 1 battery, 2 batteries, 3 batteries, 4 batteries. As you increase the amount of batteries that you purchase on your initial purchase, we'll give you more of a price break the more batteries you buy. If you're a mosquito company running around 20 routes a day, 20 properties a day, we've done some studies with different mosquito dedicated companies. 3 batteries is what they've found is the ideal amount to run a full day doing mosquito routes. You could charge these things in the truck while you're driving around. So if you have 1 battery in the tank and then another battery charging, you could spray a full day with the 3 battery setup.
Yeah, I want to add something in there as well, guys. So we did, as Connor just said, we did a lot of R&D way before we released this unit back in 2022, which is when our R&D started. Originally, our eco mode was going to be boost, and our boost was going to be 45 feet. And so many mosquito guys told us, look, like, we don't need 30 feet of output. It's just so unnecessary, like 90% more of the time. Can you guys make eco mode 15 feet? And as Connor said, and that's what we did. We reduced the 30 to 15, and now the boost is now 30. Why I say this, and I would really want to hit home with you guys, is that if you guys ever watch Home Improvement, Tim the Toolman Taylor, where he wants more power, this is not that. You don't need more power to get the job done. 15 feet eco mode is all you need to penetrate deep foliage. And we did, again, a lot of R&D on this. I want to really hit home on this because it's 1 hour of continuous spray. So when you're not treating, when you're going from point A to point B and you're not treating between those 2 points, turn that sucker off so you can get extended battery life, all right? We have a large company that is in Florida and Texas. It's a pest control company. I think they're in the top 20 now. I think they're called All You Need Pest Control. I'm going to just mention them. Last year they purchased over 72 for their company, and they only bought 1 battery. That's it. And they did their research. They dig it with just 1 battery. And a lot of what they're doing, and this is just something for you guys to know, is that in that area in Florida and parts of Texas where they're using this, there's gas ordinances and noise ordinances and/or combination. There is no other solution but an electric blower mister. And they are using their gas-powered machines as a supplement to an electric mister. I'm not saying get rid of your gas-powered, because of course, even with the Birchmeier, the Tomahawk, the Makita mister blowers, our competitors with this, everybody's battery life is very similar. But you can reduce the amount of gas-powered usage, reduce the amount of gas you're spending, and then streamline these units to other techs that may not know how to mix gas and oil. Maybe you're a little bit nervous about certain techs. Mixing, flammable substances. This is going to allow you to streamline it to techs that, you don't have to have the mix. Obviously, there is no gas or oil. You're taking that out of the mix, and you're able to now streamline it to a lot more technicians that work for you versus a traditional mosquito guy that's just dedicated for mosquito treatments. Because obviously, mixing gas and oil, you have to know what you're doing a lot more than just spraying Termidor or Demand, right? So I just want to make sure, again, eco mode, guys. It's 1 hour, and I'm not saying it's the greatest battery life, but again, this is where the battery technology is. Hopefully we'll have something soon that will, help everybody with an enormous amount of battery life. So just wanted to jump in there, Connor. Go ahead.
Yep. So outside of the blow force, we do have on the end of the blow tube, you can see that green, circular knob. You can adjust the droplet size. So there's 4 different settings to be either a smaller droplet, a larger droplet. For mosquitoes, is it you want to be right around like 100 microns?
Yeah, so we did it actually. I think with Syngenta and FMS or FMC. Sorry, they got us to where like it's 100 to 200 micron droplets. You can increase the droplets by having a larger orifice nozzle. So the nozzles that we currently have with this will get you to up to 200 micron droplets, 100 to 200. You could decrease or increase that with a different nozzle, obviously, guys. But with our current nozzle that it comes with, it's 100 to 200. We have more nozzles coming in the future because some companies that were trying this are wanting larger droplets or smaller droplets with a larger GPM output. It's a little bit backwards. The higher the gallon per minute or output, the lower the droplets are, or the lower the micron droplets are. So it's a little, it's not, they're a little bit backwards from one another. So the smaller the GPM, the higher the microns, and the higher the GPM, the smaller the microns. Okay, so that's just to keep that in mind. But ours it's that 100, 200. The blow force of 274 on the eco mode at 15 feet is plenty to hit, to penetrate those, to get those chemicals on the eggs. Again, as Connor said, penetrate deep foliage. You'll be in good shape. So.
Yep. And then the way that we deliver the liquid on this unit is with a diaphragm pump, similar to the Cyclone. Basically, if you're working with a steel unit or some of the other battery-powered competitors, it's all gravity-fed liquid that just feeds through the arm. So even if you hold the arm facing the ground, it's going to be leaking chemical. Ours is delivered via the diaphragm pump. So that is a reliable method versus the gravity fed.
Absolutely.
Doesn't drip. And then, like Henny said, if you switch to the nozzle on it, that the pump that is in the unit is capable to have an output of a half gallon per minute. The way that it's configured out of the box, you get a quarter gallon per minute.
Mm-hmm. And then with gravity fed, guys, with gravity fed, so like if you look at that guy in the far left there, if this unit on a non-gravity fed unit like a steel gas powered SR250, unless you buy a pump for it, it is not gravity fed. Or sorry, it is gravity fed. The Tomahawk electric mister, it is gravity fed, which means that if you lift that blower contraption above your shoulder level, 90 degrees, 60 degrees, whatever it is, you're going to lose output. So ours does not do that. This is a huge plus, right? So it's pushed through the diaphragm. You can get that thing 90 degrees above your head. It's not going to lose that output. This is super important to know on the gravity fed subject there.
Yep. And then we already mentioned some of these points, but the fact that it's battery, obviously there's no gasoline fill up time or cost. You're not starting and stopping with a pull start 2-stroke engine. You simply just have the battery in there, you squeeze the trigger and you're good to go. There's no tuning or anything required because there's no motor, no engine. And then there's no carburetor, wiring, components to repair.
Yeah, you don't need to have a mechanical engineering degree to fix these. Like you do with the steel, where there's downtime, sending it over to steel or whoever you're working with, and send it over to them for them to fix it and send it back to you. Literally, I mean, and Connor, correct me if I'm wrong, all of the circuitry is it's basically a pump and a circuit board, just like the Cyclone, as Connor said. Most of the things that can go wrong or fail or wear and tear in this unit are on the outside of the sprayer. And what that means for you is that if something breaks through wear and tear, or if it's a manufacturer defect, well, it's just a quick, literally just put it, you don't have to open up the unit and deal with minutiae of wiring and all that. All the things are on the outside, and we're going to show that to you as well. But correct me if I'm wrong, is that right? Like most of the things are on the outside there.
Yeah.
The circuitry is just very simple, pump and circuit board. Nothing crazy. So let's go next, I guess.
So a few more features. So Henny mentioned the swap tank design. So the unit itself, you can see the white blow mold tank that is removable. You can see in the top picture, he's got the tank separated from the base unit. He's filling up the MQ for mosquito. So he's got his mosquito liquid pre-mixed. He's filling up the tank on the job site. You can have multiple tanks in the truck ready to roll. As you deplete, the 2.5 gallons. We do have a 4-gallon tank accessory as well. So depending on your needs, you could have multiple 2.5-gallon tanks. You could have a 4-gallon tank, and then, like I said, you're ready to go without mixing on site or in the field.
Yeah, another huge plus to look at this, guys, is that everybody's like, I'm used to using 4-gallon gas blowers. While that is true, with a 2.5-gallon swap tank, you can buy an extra 2.5 gallons. So essentially now you have a 5-gallon sprayer, but you're not carrying 5 gallons plus the weight of that sprayer, right? So you're removing that weight, but you still have a 5-gallon capacity. So many companies right now, from Rent-A-Kill, sorry to mention some of these, Rent-A-Kill or Orkin, Rollins, whatever, or an Ecolab. I mean, they are going, they're doing a major shift to no one's allowed to carry anything above 3 gallons for safety reasons. Whether they're right or wrong, that's not my say. But what I'm saying is that this helps with safety. This helps with not having bad back problems. In the sense of, you can just divide the weight and not carry 5 gallons at a time, basically. I think that's in my opinion, that's a huge selling point. And then the reduced noise pollution, ours is 70 decibels compared to an 80 decibel gas powered machine like a Steel. That is a perception of, or every 3 points is a perception of the doubling of the sound. So essentially you're looking at it's 6 times less noisy than a gas-powered machine, and that's why it's good for areas that are, have noise ordinances and such. Is it still loud? Yeah, it's 70 decibels, guys, but it's not as loud as a gas-powered machine either.
So here are some of just the spec numbers. So it's running on a 40-volt, 8-amp battery platform. Again, we had that bigger battery is required to power it's an axial fan on the inside. So it's a powerful fan that requires a bigger battery. We do have a 12 amp hour battery available. So that gives you an extra 33% of runtime, to get you up to, an hour and 20 minutes instead of the hour. So that's something to consider too, if you're concerned about the runtime. Here's that 100 to roughly 200 micron size that we were talking about. The flow rate out of the box with this orange tip is that 0.09 to 0.26 gallons per minute, and you can get up to 30 feet spray distance. And then same kind of general maintenance as you would have with any sort of backpack sprayer. You want to run fresh water through it, get any sort of debris out of the tank and the filters. There is an inlet filter on the inside of the tank before the liquid goes to the diaphragm pump. So that helps prevent any sort of buildup getting into the pump. But yeah, same kind of maintenance as a backpack sprayer.
Yeah, same thing, guys. It's the same pump as in all of our sprayers. This is not some new funky technology. It's the same pump, same circuit board, filters in the same location. So if you're using any viscous chemicals, wettable powders, anything like that, I don't know why. I don't know. We don't sell chemicals, so excuse our ignorance. But if you're using that in this sprayer, obviously make sure the filter is clean. One big thing is essential oils, okay? We do not recommend, we don't say do not use essential oils. What we do say with essential oils, like your IC3, Ecovia, is that you want to make sure you rinse it at the end of the day, because those oils affect the seals of the sprayer. The only chemicals that we say be very cognizant about, avoid using as much as you can, or just use very minimally, and we're working on a way to help you guys not have to do that, is our petroleum oil distillate chemicals, which are emulsified concentrates. Essential oils are fine. All the other oils are fine except for emulsified concentrates. That's like your permethrin, your Tengard, Dragnet, those kind of chemicals. And again, I'm not saying don't use them, guys. I'm just saying that all pumps in this industry are not going to be, are they just don't, they're not going to last as long using those chemicals as they would all the other chemicals. So if you are going to use emulsified concentrates or any chemical that has petro, you have to clean it at the end of the day, just with warm soapy water. Just flush it out. That's it. So then we can do some comparison here, right? The next, oh, sorry, warranty, guys, 1 year, bumper to bumper from when you buy it from Chris or Viserys or whoever. You call us. Our number is on. Our number is on the sprayer. It's on a Google search. It's right there on your screen, and we'll help you with any warranty needs as we always have in the last 7-8 years.
Yep, and we try to pride ourselves in that. So if you have any issues, we'll help you out in that year period. No questions asked. Oh, here's the details on that.
And Chris will help you guys out with that. That's why, or whoever the other Viserys rep that is on there, they'll let you know how to get a hold of us. So real quick, guys, let's do a quick comparison, because the major one that I don't know if Viserys sells, the Birchmeier electric misters. Those are other ones out there. So there's Makita, which is not on here. Makita has released a battery mister as well. Theirs is like 1600. Theirs is gravity fed. We talked about the cons of gravity fed. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not, I don't know. It's just not it's not ideal. And theirs is extremely heavy. Again, it's pretty pricey. So the Mosquito Mister by Birchmeier, theirs is dope. I love it. It looks great. It's basically a Birchmeier sprayer with a blower mister. It's a 2-part kind of unit. It's kind of heavy. The Birchmeier is. That's the con with theirs versus ours. Ours is lighter. Ours, you're carrying the weight of the pump, while with the Birchmeier, with ours, you're wearing the weight of the pump, like you're carrying it on your back. With the Birchmeier, you're actually holding the weight of the pump with your arms. It's actually on the contraption that you're spraying with. So it gets really, really heavy. And theirs is like, I don't know, $2,500, something like that. Our floor pricing on our units, it's not like it's a big secret. It's $900, $1,100, $1,250, $1,400 from Viserys. That's 1 battery, 2 battery, 3 battery, 4 battery. So even our most expensive bundle package, which is $1,400, $1,399.99, is still half the price of a Birch electric. So why am I comparing to the Tomahawk? Because theirs is inexpensive, right? So everybody goes for the low-hanging fruit. I'm just going to be honest. Why is it inexpensive? We believe that after seeing it and testing it and hearing feedback from a lot of social media groups like Pest Cemetery and all those guys that have used it, is that it is more geared towards the prosumer market, not so much the commercial contractor market, just the way it is designed. Again, but it looks like a good unit. There's differences with ours and theirs. Theirs is gravity fed. Again, we talked about the cons of that. If you lift theirs above your shoulder level, you are going to lose output. And their battery life is not as long as ours, because their power is a little bit more. So therefore, the juice on their battery gets sucked down a lot. They don't have the boost mode, the differentiations that we do. So ours allows you to put down less output that helps you extend your battery life. And again, as we talked a lot, we did months upon months of research and R&D where eco mode 15 feet is plenty, 90% more of the time. And again, this comes from your fellow colleagues and other mosquito companies that we've got this information from. Ours is, as you guys know, is a swap tank. So that's a huge selling point in the sense that you're not having to wear a 4-gallon, 5-gallon, whatever you guys want, and then you're able to mix the chemicals outside of the sprayer, so you can agitate it better, faster, and then also you don't have to cross-contaminate different chemicals. So that's the differentiations between ours and theirs. That's why ours is pricier. Again, at the end of the day, you got to make the decision based on what works best for you. But I do have to give you guys the facts there on the differences there.
Yeah, I'm also seeing a significant weight difference as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So ours filled up. So dry, it's 19, and then with 8 pounds a gallon, probably 39 pounds filled up, and then theirs with a 4-gallon tank, you're looking at 30. What is that? 62 pounds
mm-hmm.
versus 40 pounds on your back. So extra 20 pounds on your back with the Tomahawk there.
One thing is the flow rate there on the GPM. Again, flow rates are all about the orifice of the nozzle. Okay, so let's not get fixated that, oh, they have a different flow rate than yours, or theirs can go higher or lower than yours, or because can go lower and theirs cannot. Like, and I'm defending them as well. Like, if they have other nozzles they're going to release, that can adjust their 0.25 down to 0.09 like ours. So let's not get so fixated on GPM, because that all is fixable with a different nozzle. Now, I don't know if their nozzle theirs is permanent. As you guys can see, the word permanent, meaning that from my understanding, you cannot add a new nozzle to theirs.
Right.
Which means that theirs is gonna, unless they change that somehow, you're not going to be able to tinker with the GPM on a Tomahawk like you would on a FlowZone. With ours, it's threaded, so you can tinker with it. And as I said, the nozzle we released with it is the nozzle that we got after a lot of R&D as what the GPM is needed. But there's a large company in a different industry testing our units, and they want a bigger orifice nozzle. They want it at a 0.42 GPM, so that we're going to probably add that to as a secondary accessory down the line. But we are going to have that ability. So again, with ours, just like our backpacks, I kind of look at us as like the droid of sprayers, in that you can tinker with the flow zones, you can add this and that. To kind of change it and change the specs, as long as it's not disruptive to the pump, which these won't. That's not going to affect the pumps on these. So we want to share our screen with you guys to show you these backpacks live and in person, and hopefully we can do this with this camera. I think we can.
Yep.
Right. You want to bring it closer, maybe here, Connor?
Here, you're good.
So, all right, let's put it right here. Chris, let us know if you can see it. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's a perfect frame. You're good.
Okay, perfect. So this is the battery, guys. This. If I can take it out, I worked out for no reason apparently. Why did I get this out? There we go. So this is a battery. There's a button on here that shows you how many lights are on, just like the FlowZone the FlowZone units. Okay. If you use a 300-watt inverter, you can charge these on the go. And with a bundle package, so this is one machine with one battery is 900. So if you have a 2-bundle package, you'll get 2 of these. 3, you get 3. 4, you'll get 4, and so forth and so on. Okay. The swap tank. Let's see this. If you guys can see this, this is the swap tank technology right here. This is the 2.5 gallon. Ooh. And this is how it clips on here to the back. And you can put the 4 gallon on here, Connor. Go ahead and do it if you can. And it just clips on the back here, guys. Very simply. I'm not going to show you unless Connor wants to do it.
Use your hand. Yeah.
Yep. So you can go like this. Boom, boom, and it's latched. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And you can buy multiple 2.5 gallons, as I said, which is what I would recommend. I don't want to wear a 4 gallon. I don't know about you guys. So I would just get a 2.5 gallon as an extra. Here's the blower contraption here. Here. This is the nozzle here. This right here is the how you turn on the chemicals. So when you turn on the sprayer on eco mode, that turns on it as it's a leaf blower. Now, when you do the selector knob on 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's what puts out the chemicals, right, Connor?
Yep.
And then this lever right here. So you turn it on 1.
Let me get the lever over here.
You turn it on 1, and that starts the chemical output. You turn on the sprayer on eco, and then you push the green lever to put out chemical. We did this as a safety feature because if you turn this on eco mode and it just starts putting out chemicals, that ain't good, right? So we have 2 safety features. You put it on eco, that's a leaf blower, that's the 15-foot output. Then you select the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you push this magic button here to actually put out the chemicals. So even if the green lever is on and you turn it on eco mode by accident, chemicals won't come out until you put this. And if you do both of those and you put out chemicals, well, then that's on you. But we did as much as we can to make it as a safety feature. We have the little strap right here that kind of harnesses the blower, so it's not bouncing up and down in the back of your trucks, ruining it. And it's pretty compact unit, guys. I mean, it's like, it's not like huge and crazy. I mean, it's big, right? It's a mister blower, but it's nothing like, absolutely tremendously huge that's taking up a ton of room either. I think it's pretty compact and nicely designed. Of course, I would say that, right? Because I'm selling it to you guys. And then I'll have Connor talk about this right here, what that is.
Yeah, and we have a diffusion cover kit. So this is just something you put on the end of the blow tube to deflect the wind to go 45 degrees upwards. So let's say you've got the blow tube kind of down, facing down into a bush. This will deflect the wind upward. So it kind of gives you that the ability to get the bottom of the leaves where the mosquito eggs are. That pretty much wraps it up for us.
Yeah, we're gonna show you guys some cool accessories real quick, just on the PowerPoint presentation that you may or may not know about. Some were released last year, some are coming this year. So we have 2 telescoping poles. This is for the FlowZone sprayers, guys. We have 2 telepoles. Those are 16-foot and 24-foot respectively. Those are kind of like you would remove your gun and wand from your typhoon, cyclone, storm, monsoon, and add this to the hose. And then this pole goes from 4 all the way up to 16 feet and 3 different or 2 different with like it has like levers on it that you can put on to kind of, put it anywhere between 4 and 16. And then there's a 24-footer. Basically, this is if you're trying to reach super high eaves. So if you have a typhoon that puts out 30 to 35 feet output, you're going to get an additional 16-foot or 24-foot on top of that. So those accessories are carried by Viserys, sold, stocked in their hubs, that you guys can order from their website. We have battery adapters, 1 adapter for Makita and 1 adapter for both Milwaukee and DeWalt batteries, and then 1 adapter for Bosch batteries. Makita and Milwaukee DeWalt is probably 80% of the marketplace. I don't know what you think. That's just my guess. But basically, guys, that means that, yes, you can literally buy an adapter from Viserys at no more than $34.99 or maybe $40. I don't know the price, but somewhere around there. And you can put it into the battery in place of the battery of the FlowZone, and then add your DeWalt or your Makita, Milwaukee, Bosch, and use your batteries that you have on our sprayers instead of buying another battery from us if you're out of warranty and your battery took a crap. We are not in the business to sell batteries. We're in the business to sell sprayers, and we want to make our sprayers unique from our competitors and provide you guys with the most economic solution. So if you have a ton of batteries from one of these 4 huge batteries, battery power tool makers, why not use your batteries? Why not? And that's what we offer. We have mounted sprayer racks, so your sprayers are not bouncing on the back of the truck. Drift guard, that's more for like TNO, boom nozzles and such are also for that market, but we have those. We're going to be releasing a brass nozzle bundle. So instead of our plastic nozzles, the T-Jet plastic ones, we're going to have brass. Those are pretty pricey, so that's why we didn't put them as part of the sprayer, just so we can keep it, again, economical. Plastic is not bad, and our plastic nozzles don't break easily unless you literally slam it on concrete like Thor. So as long as there's no reason for it, but if you want to upgrade, there you go. 5-in-1 nozzle, you can actually start buying those from Viserys now. We're going to be releasing those sometime in the spring, but we're taking pre-orders on that, Chris. Just want to let you know this is in your system. The part number is right there. It's FZAALV, and you guys can start buying those. There's limited amount of coming, but those are literally 5 settings in one. I believe it's a cone, a 0, a 25, 45, and then either an 80 or 110. Is it 80 or 110? I believe it's 110.
110.
Yeah, 110. So again, 0, 25, 45, 110, and cone. All 5 in one. It's like the one nozzle to rule them all. And last but not least, guys, we have a ton of new like stainless steel wands and inline guns that we're releasing. We have a 9-inch if somebody wants something that small. We have dripless wands, like truly dripless, that you can buy in lieu of the one that comes with our sprayers. One is a 45-degree bended one, as you guys can see here. We have an extension 20 to 36 that you guys can see number 4 here. This is the 20, and it can extend all the way to 36. This is one wand. This is just a picture to show you how it's done. And then these two are inline. Inline meaning that it's all, sorry, this is not inline. This is an inline right over here, number 5. Inline just means that it's kind of like very similar to like your Birch or your B&Gs. Those are inline style. This is an inline with a carbon fiber wand. So it's not stainless steel. It's a lot lighter for those that just prefer a lighter type of wand. Those are available. Eventually, those are going to come in stainless steel. But on the 1 and 2 gallons that I showed you guys way early in the presentation, those 2 units are going to have inline guns, exactly like a Birchmeier or a B&G, in the sense of the design is inline and they're stainless steel. So, but those have the micro switches in them, and it's only meant for those 2 sprayers. But these are all these are meant for your, the Foundation Typhoon Cyclone sprayers that you can buy as accessories. And that's it. That's it for us, guys. We'll open it up to Q&A if anybody has any for us.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, can you show, or at least show me how you guys go from eco mode to full blast? And then I also wanted to confirm the green nozzle on the gun. At the end, like the 1 is the lowest gallons per minute, but the highest micron size, correct?
Yeah. So the first setting on this, Chris and team.
Here, can you hold it?
Yep, I'll hold it. So the first setting, 1, is 0.09 GPM, and
Okay.
that is your highest micron.
Got it.
And as you go to 2, it goes higher in gallon per minute output and lower in micron. So just think backwards, right? So it's chronological order as far as GPM. So that's how you can kind of start remembering it that way. Chronological GPM, which is normal, right? Just like your variable speeds on the Typhoon. You follow me, Chris?
Yeah.
But
The lowest
when you
number
think about
is the lowest gallons per minute.
The lowest gallon per minute would be the setting number 1.
Yeah.
And if you just remember that it's backwards with microns, that means
Correct.
that setting 1 would be 200.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. So GPM is normal, chronological, and then as long as you remember it's backwards with microns, that's how you can remember that.
Yeah.
And then regarding the eco and boost mode, can you kind of angle it this way?
Yep. And it will say it right there, guys. Eco and boost.
So it's very
you
easy
just-
to change. if
Yeah,
you
so you
need.
just take this,
Got it.
right?
Yep.
And it locks into place. And then let me try to get this angle. This is the water. This is the liquid activator, this red button. So when you press this, you got the light turns on and off, and then that's what activates the pump.
The pump.
That's how it looks.
When you get one of these units, there's a QR code, QR postcard. Scan that sucker. It'll have an installation video and your manual as well. Is there a manual, or is that on the QR code?
Yeah, you scan the QR code.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, it looks awesome. I will say, like, the first time you take the battery out, it feels like it's hard to pull out, but once you do it once, you're like, oh, I see how to do it. So it's very easy.
Yeah.
And then you can pick that thing up with one arm easily.
Yeah.
And when we did the detachable tank at the wildlife show, that was like the thing that got everybody's eyes to pop the most. So I was going to ask you guys, how long does it take to charge the battery in a wall charger?
2 hours.
2 hours. And then
Yep.
do you know for like a 300-watt inverter in the car, how long the battery charge would take?
I think it was
Same time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it just what you want to do is, the battery charges faster when it's cool. If you pull it off the sprayer and it's hot, it takes a little longer to charge. So if you're running a multi-battery platform, you just want to make sure you're charging it on the cold battery versus the hot
Okay.
battery.
Yeah, that's good intel. And how long does it take to cool down usually?
I mean, it depends where you are, but yeah, I mean, in Texas, if you keep it out of the sun, keep it in the truck, don't have it sitting on the truck bed, that kind of thing is like best practice, just, so, half an hour easily, could
Okay.
cool down.
And that's the same with any lithium-ion battery, guys. You don't want to, even your phone, your cell phones, if you leave them in the sun, you'll fry your battery in your phone. I've done that because I'm not bright. I sell batteries and I do the dumbest stuff to my own battery stuff. And I know better, but I do it. But the swap tank we showed you guys, that's going to be the same thing as the 1 and 2 gallon. The same kind of setup. They're not going to be the same shape, obviously, but they're going to be the same setup as that.
Yeah.
In the swap tank, I'll kind of show you the bottom of the tank there. It's just a female, connector there. And then it's got a check valve in the swap tank, so there's no leaking when you're putting it
awesome.
in and out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the 1 gallon, guys, just to give you a little sneak peek to the PCOs that are on this call. It's right here. It has the BNG 4-in-1 tip, an inline gun, an inline wand gun like the BNG. Same thing, same setup, and it's a swap tank, and it's a small little guy. It has a shoulder strap that you can wear it to as well. So that is going to be coming at the end of March. Again, Chris, we can start taking pre-orders on those too, man, if anybody's interested in those. Because the launch on those, we're only bringing in a certain amount just because of Chinese New Year and all that. We only have a certain amount coming in, so it is limited. But I sent it over to the purchasing department at your company to enter those SKUs.
Yeah, those are awesome. We did get a question in the chat. If anybody else wants to post in the chat, go ahead, or you can just come off mute. So John asks, what are the price points for the extra tanks?
I would look it up. You got it, Connor?
Yeah, 1 sec. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I can look it up.
I think it's $50 for the 4 gallon. I think it's like $35 for the
I feel like it's
2.5 gallon.
I feel like it's less than that.
Pull it up real quick.
Yeah, and another feedback that we got at the wildlife show on the steels is that pretty much everybody who's using the steels is having problems with leaking from the tank after a certain while. There was a part that goes inside the tank that wears down after a while, and they were seeing a lot of leakage from that. But it's a fixable thing, of course, but still an inconvenience when it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just the suggested price on those tanks is $43 for the 2.5 gallon and then $60 for the 4 gallon.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
But
definitely
Chris, you
seems like
can
a great
feel free to wheel and deal if you want. On there's no, as you know, the MCP stuff is not on those.
Yeah, cool. All right, so if no one has any extra questions, I just want to go last call for questions. Cool. All right, so do you guys want to announce the giveaway that we talked about?
Yeah, so just working with Chris and Viserys, we appreciate everybody being on the call. So if anybody's interested in ordering a Vortex unit today, we're going to include a free battery on the first 3 purchases. So that's the giveaway. I think the batteries are pretty expensive.
They're like
so
$370.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good value in that regard. Yeah, so we've got the battery for $393 on our website. So you're getting almost $400 in a free battery there.
And guys, don't forget, PCPs on here is that our website on sprayers, parts, and accessories is 12.5%, 13%, whatever, above what Viserys can sell them to you at. On everything, the whole kit and caboodle. Our website is retail. It's not meant for contractors. But hey, so get with Chris on anything that you need as far as parts, accessories, pumps, batteries, all that stuff. Go to Chris or Deb Chambers or whoever else from Viserys has PCOs on this call. And then the Viserys website is really easy. You can go to their website. There's a search bar. You can type in what you want and poof, it populates. And you can order it straight from there if you want. And if it's not on there, Chris will help you.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually give out my number here. If for anyone who doesn't have it, it's 713-614-8241. And the first 3 customers that text me to say they want one of these will get an extra battery with this. Okay. All right. So Jorge actually posted a question as well. And this is something I wanted to talk about too, is that with any kind of issues with maintenance, whether that's any FlowZone product, the best way to do that, you can contact me as your rep or your own rep, but we're basically going to go to FlowZone from there. So I'm going to email support@westall.com, right? Or is it FlowZone?
What, support at Wessel? That's right.
support@westall.com, and I'll copy you on the email. But if you want to go directly to FlowZone and copy me, or just go, directly to them, it's going to be the same exact service either way. So that's kind of the process right now. Does that answer your question, Jorge?
And Jorge, we have an awesome website, troubleshooting website. It's basically our website, fzspray.com. FZ is in the letters for FlowZone, spray.com/troubleshoot. Every video, troubleshoot video for the most part, installation videos are on there. If you ever need anything, like you just want to, quickly. Guys, biggest thing is with your batteries, not the Vortex, but because those are bigger. So with our normal batteries, please use the charger that you bought with the sprayer on your battery. No one intentionally does not use their charger, by the way. But I tell you, these days, I think I gave you a percentage, Chris, the other day. 80% of battery problems we have is because people are not using the right charger, and it happens all the time, and it's not intentional. I wish that our chargers are green. Like, we just need to spray paint them green. But they look similar to other aftermarket chargers, which is not a good thing, because if you use a charger, and I don't remember if the amp is smaller or whatever, some chargers can hurt your batteries. So just stick with the charger that comes with the sprayer and you'll be solid. Because if you use a different charger, not only could you be damaging your battery, but it's also, you're going to think the battery's bad because it's not going to charge your battery. So twofold on that one. So that's it. Just a quick maintenance tip on batteries there. Any other questions?
I think that covers it. Yeah, I
Awesome.
think this has been super, super helpful, and just be able to see the sprayer. I didn't even know that there was a 4-gallon option available for a tank, and I didn't know that you could charge them in the car. So that's, two things I've learned personally, even having firsthand experience with the sprayer. So I appreciate you guys and everyone else that joined on today, and we'll record this and send it out, and we'll sell a few of these at least.
Thank you. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
and,
we'll see how many
everyone
we
in the
can
series.
get sold. I mean, now is the perfect time to buy. You're in February. We've got like a month till mosquito season really kicks off here. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised it's not even kicking off already in Texas. It was 80 degrees when I was there the other day.
It's a nice sunny day today, so I think that actually hurt us as far as attendees today, but we just got that cold wind right now, so that's about it. But yeah, this has been great, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Cool.
Have a good day.
All right.
Bye.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.